Yes, it's Leftovers, where I read the jokes we didn't use this week. New York Times Mayor Eric Adams met with incoming border czar Tom Homan to discuss the migrant crisis, pressures on infrastructure, and challenges for law enforcement, barely leaving them enough time for a romantic Central Park carriage ride. According to a House report on Trump's attempted assassin Ryan Ruth, a Secret Service agent may have been only 5 feet away when he fired 6 times at Ruth and missed him every time. The agent has since been transferred to the Imperial Stormtroopers. All right. Sports news. Bill Belichick will take over the football program at the University of North Carolina. He says he can't wait to start the season, and his girlfriend can't wait to start classes. Ooh. A defund the police activist in San Francisco is complaining after thieves stole a U-Haul filled with all her possessions. The cops are on the lookout for a truck filled with Fancy Feast and Lexapro. Netflix announced the pre-show entertainer for the NFL's Christmas Day games will be Mariah Carey, where she'll sing All I Want for Christmas Is You before being tranquilized and put back in storage for another year. A Hollywood icon, Dick Van Dyke, turns 99 today. Yeah. And to ensure he makes it to 100, we've sent him a year's supply of Balance of Nature. This week, Elizabeth Warren said that the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was wrong, but people can only be pushed so far, which is the same thing Jill Biden says when approaching a staircase with her husband. Okay. Now to the searing monologue. Dems are worried about guacamole while the border needs a goalie. As the incoming Trump administration vows to crack down on illegal immigration and fix the border mess, it appears the left is more focused on collateral damage from Trump's actions, namely how his proposed tariffs on Mexico and the deportation of illegal aliens will impact avocados. For the record, avocados are technically a fruit, and this is technically a vegetable. All right. The New York Times writes, prepare for guacamole to be a luxury item. What does that make the New York Times, which I only use as a placemat when I eat guacamole? The Times snark really shines in this sentence, quote, just as a reminder to the incoming administration, about 2/3 of vegetables and almost half of fruit and nut imports to the United States come from Mexico. And how many avocados? 90%. No more avocado toast? What will millennials eat when they listen to true crime podcasts? And of course, the Times isn't just worried about the tariffs. What about all those illegal aliens who are about to get deported? They're the ones the Dems want to keep in the fields doing the jobs that are beneath the elites, like farm labor, janitorial work, or marrying Ilhan Omar. Sure, Biden's unchecked illegal immigration has sent crime skyrocketing and then taken jobs away from hardworking Americans. And what's the Times worried about? Higher prices for guacamole. Meanwhile, regular Americans are worried about crime from violent illegal alien thugs. If that means less fentanyl, we'll take the hit on condiments, thank you. But try telling that to the mainstream media and the White House. On his way out the door, Biden seems to be doing everything he can to screw up Trump's plans for a secure border. As the Daily Wire reports, the Biden administration is quietly clearing away border wall parts and putting them up for auction before Trump takes power. Hey, Joe, just because you keep walking into walls doesn't mean the rest of us don't like them. The Daily Wire's James Lalino obtained video of huge metal sections of the border wall at an auction site ready to be sold to the highest bidder. Fox reached out to the White House for comment. They haven't returned our calls yet. According to a screenshot of the auction site, bidding reportedly starts at just $5 per wall panel. $5! Seems like that money could be better spent on a side of guac and chips. That is right. Okay. Adam, you're from California. Do they have avocados in California, or do we just import them all?
No, they're all there.
They're all there?
No, when I get off the plane, I get pelted with avocados. That many avocados.
Yeah, well, look, this is what the Democrats are worried about. And, of course, they're all, warning us about the dangers of tariffs. But, guacamole prices, all prices are up anyway. Can they go up much further from there?
Well, guacamole should be a luxury item. Nobody needs guacamole. Like, there's never a sinking ship, and the guy goes, all right, we need water rations. We need to get the chickens onto the lifeboat. And who's got the guacamole? You've never heard any old settlers talking about where the guacamole... The Donner Party didn't die because they ran out of guacamole. Nobody needs guacamole. We like it, but we'd rather have a secure border than guacamole.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, America.
Todd, I made a joke about, you being a mannequin, but you're not a mannequin, Todd. You are a great man. Do you like guacamole? I find it a little bit much for me. I used to like the guacamole. I like to make it myself.
I love guacamole, but here's the point. If I have to pay an extra $1, to your point, for avocados in order to keep fentanyl and illegal immigration and cartels out of the country, okay, I'll do that. If it puts pressure on Mexico to do their job, to keep those bad things from infecting my nation and especially my kids, I'm all for it. But there's I think you hit this. It's part of a bigger issue. There's a segment of our society that doesn't care about what Tom Homan's going to do or what Trump's going to do. They want illegal immigration. My takeaway is this. The illegal immigrants that Tom Homan and Donald Trump want to get out of the country and are focused on getting out of the country, they're not the ones picking avocados. They're the ones picking pockets in Times Square. And that's real.
Yeah.
They're criminals. We see them in the area all the time. And so, yes, I understand the deportation process could go beyond that. But for starters, let's get rid of the really bad guys who have no right to be here and who are making our country less safe.
That's it. That's it. Tyrus, you see Mayor Adams at his press conferences now, he's not like the New York Times. He's not saying, oh, watch out, guacamole prices are going to go up. He's talking about the problems that have happened because of the migrant crisis in this city, right?
Well, just crime in general. They forgot that they elected a police officer, and he wants to do police officer things like keep the streets safe for people.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger issue is, whom is the editor that okayed this story? Somebody sat up at night, Kat, and says, I've got a great answer for what's going on with the border. If we compare the price of guacamole with illegal immigrants and drugs coming in the nation, America's going to get it. And then they wrote it. They spell checked it. They gave it to AI to make sure it flowed right. And then they walked into their editor's office and say, hit the print with this. Like, this is the stupidest comparison ever. This would be like Gutfeld and talking about skyscrapers. There's nothing close between the two. It's like having a child at 60. It's dangerously weird.
Let the record reflect, I put my tea down to applaud.
Yeah. It worked.
I, for one, think short people should be allowed to speak about architecture, so we may disagree.
What are your thoughts on having a baby at 60?
Oh, I should ask my 23-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, it could happen. Kat, it was clueless of these people, but that's the kind of, New York Times editors, that's what they're worried about, the yoga pants and the guacamole, right?
I think that, tariffs do often present as a tax on the American consumer. I think that that's an important discussion to have. I understand that also there's the argument that he's using it as a negotiating tactic, so on and so forth. But when the frame of your entire argument is simply avocados and guacamole, I don't think that that is all that persuasive in its own, because I agree, guacamole should be a luxury item. It is luxury. I see what you're saying, but also I would say it's not that good.
I'm
Not that good. It's fine, but I think that a lot of people pretend it's better than it is.
Yeah.
And you feel better about it than getting what you really want, which is the queso is what you really want.
Yes.
But it's not that good. A serving size of guacamole is like 2 tablespoons. You're not supposed to be eating a whole avocado. You're going to, and I get it. You want me to also ruin everyone's Mexican food experience? 4 tortilla chips equals 1 tortilla.
Yeah. And hey, just to add a little bit to that, I lived in Sunland, Tujunga when I was a kid, and in my front yard, we had an avocado tree, okay?
Yep.
I spent most of my childhood raking up mushy brown avocados. I hate them. They don't even hold up long enough to throw at a car when it goes by. Literally, when you pull back, it goes and goes everywhere. And it doesn't stay green for long. It's like baby. It's everywhere. The flies won't even stand on it. It's the worst fruit tree ever. It's terrible.
Just get the queso.
Yeah,
It's what you
it's-
want.
All right,
Love
hold
yourself.
on. A counter argument.
Yeah.
As a youth, I used to commute through the Sunland Tahunga area and avoided avocados because they disintegrated on the ground. I saw a young Tyrus, only 6'8" at the time. He was 9. He was 6'8". He was about 325, and I'd see him crying, trying to get this avocado out of his hand as we went by on our way to school.
Because the nice thing is you got to have a pomegranate tree. That's the gift that keeps giving in California, not avocados.
Right. Wow. Before we go, I'll be appearing tomorrow night at Bananas in New Jersey, and I'm going to be touring with Greg Gutfeld next year. You'll have the opportunity for a live meet and greet with me at select dates. Go to ggutfeld.com for tickets. And up next, their sentences were commuted, though their crimes were not disputed.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.